Hello world, this is Craig. Okay, my July order of printed circuit boards from JLCPCB arrived, and I'm excited to see what we got. Wanted to tell you I found out the secret with DHL. What I need to do, since DHL only comes up here when they have a full load, so I'm about 20 miles from the DHL hub, but they only come up here when they got a full load. So as soon as this shows up in Los Angeles, there's a email. It says contact the president of DHL, and you contact that and some flunky gets back to you, and I tell them my problem and ask them to drop this in the mail. And so for the last 3 months, that's what I've done. I contact them, I say this is going to be here tomorrow, put it in the mail rather than wait a week to get it here, and sure enough they do. So that's been working great for the last 3 months, and it worked great for this time. This just arrived in Los Angeles on Sunday, and this is Tuesday, so it worked well. The other thing I'm interested in is JLCPCB. I don't know if you buy things from them, but it used to be they would give you a little gift, and usually it would be something that you really didn't need, like this little rubber keychain. But since COVID started, this is getting a little bit unreliable to actually get the gift and what you're going to get. And it's not like I was counting on the gift before, but they've really gotten funny. A couple of months I didn't get one at all, and then believe it or not, last month in that order I got a roll of tape. So this was my my present from JLCPCB for my June order, and this is basically that yellow tape that if you buy something from China and it's a box, it comes completely wrapped in yellow tape. This is a roll of that tape in case I want to completely wrap something. So looking, and I don't think I got a present. I think maybe the days of presents with JLCPCB are gone. Nothing. No gift. Oh well. So let's see what we got. Most of these are just to replace inventory on things I've already got. So this is the prototyping board. And this will be about a month's supply of everything. So this is the little prototyping board for the SBC-85. This is the bus monitor. So the bus monitor Supreme for the SBC-85. Let's see, the cassette tape interface. A bunch of those, and I think I have some of those in gold also. Yeah, so the cassette tape interface in tin, cassette tape interface in gold. And let's see, there's some here that are actually more interesting that I've been waiting for. This is the next version of the memory expansion. So this is the memory expansion board. So we've got 4 channels here. I did a video on this earlier that can have any kind of a memory chip, a RAM or an EEPROM. And the difference on this board from the last version is I latched the LEDs. If you watched my last video, I wasn't happy the way the access LEDs worked, because they would have been too short if we just had them on when the read or write was on, but it turns out that they weren't selective enough if we just used the P equals Q output from the comparator. So I went ahead and took that signal, the chip enable for any of these, and I latched that during the read and write, so it stays on. The LED for that one channel will stay on during the entire machine instruction. So, or actually no, just during the entire bus cycle. So that should give it enough intensity that we can see it turn on, but at the same time it won't stay on if we use a lot of don't cares in the addressing. So we'll see how that goes. That's the memory expansion board. A couple of boards here that are fairly new. This is the this is just the port the port prototyping board. So it's the same as the bus prototyping board. The only difference is instead of connecting to the bus, it just connects to the 26-pin header here, has all the LEDs that come out, has drivers for the LEDs, and then it has just a nice little pad per whole area here for prototyping. This is the more jigs for the LEDs on the bus monitor, and the purpose of this is simply to help align the bus monitor LEDs. I have a bus monitor here, and all of these LEDs on the top and over here on the left hand side are hard to get exactly aligned properly. So what this little jig allows you to do is it allows you to, you can either put it like this or you can put it like that, but before you put any other components on, you put the LEDs in and then pop this little jig over the top of it, and it just helps align the LEDs, hold them in the right spot. And so you can do it for the ones on the top, and then these holes over here are for the ones that are on the left-hand side. So that's just a little jig for the bus monitor. See what else we've got. This is a serial and parallel I/O. Now this one, there's two of these actually. So this is one of them, and let's see where the other one is. Here's the other one. So this is a serial parallel I/O. So what we've got is a 8251 USART and a MAX 232 to hang a serial port on this up to 19.2. We've got an 8255 for a parallel port. So that has 3 8-bit parallel ports. And then we have an onboard 8-bit port, and we have a little expansion port here that's already decoded. So the port address is already decoded, and you can go off on that 26-pin header. You can come over to a little prototyping board like this and put whatever things you want on it. So this is just the serial parallel I/O expansion board. And then there's another version of that instead of having that expansion port, so instead of having this expansion port right here, this one has an I2C controller on it. So we've got I2C controller, and we still have the same 8251 for the serial port. We have the 8255 programmable peripheral parallel interface for parallel port. We have the I2C controller. This is the Philips I2C controller. And then we have a little I2C real-time clock on this. And we have an off-board connection for the I2C, and then we have a little pad per hole sandbox here for I2C. We have the I2C signals come out here, so you can put something in here if you're wiring up an I2C device. Pretty much the same as this one, except for this one has just a generic expansion port, and then the parallel port. This one has the I2C controller built into it, and then the same parallel port for the 8255. But then it has the little scratch pad area. So these are the two serial parallel I/O. This one's called serial parallel I/O. This is the SPIO. This is the SPI2C. So when you're seeing these on Tindy, that's the difference between these two. Okay, and then we've got some of these are just duplicated in gold fingers for people that want to have the fingers that are gold, and also they've already got the taper on them. So this is some the memory expansion, the same memory expansion, except it's gold rather than tin. Oh, there is one here that I think I forgot about. This is another version of the SBC-85 CPU board. So this is version 2, the one that can have the universal sites for the memory. But one of my users over in the Netherlands said he came across the mother load of 8085s that were in the quad flat packs, the QFP. So I decided to make a version of this that just has a quad flat pack for the 8085. So I'm going to go ahead and check one of these. He's going to send me some of the 8085s. If anybody can use this one instead of the normal version, which has the dip version of the 8085, then it may just be more convenient for some people. And maybe some people just want to start getting into surface mount things, but they don't want to get into it in a big way. But basically, there's a boatload of ADC-85s that are pretty cheap available. And so if you get one of those, you can use this version of the 8085 board. Okay, so I've got a few projects, and as I mentioned, this will keep me going for a month or so on between Tindy and eBay, and people that just email me asking for buying directly. That's great. I'm a little bit disappointed that I didn't get any kind of a praise at all or a present at all from JLCPCB, but that's not why I order from them. So I guess I'll have to make my tape last another month. All right, that's all I wanted to show you this video. If you have any questions, let me know, and I will talk with you later. Thanks for watching.